The unexpected reunion was filled with emotion, deeply touching those who witnessed the scene and bringing them to tears. It all began more than 2 years ago when a white-furred dog, being overly playful, accidentally got separated from his owner. From that moment on, his life changed drastically. Without a home to return to, he became a stray, wandering aimlessly and facing unimaginable hardships. Hunger was a constant struggle, and his appearance reflected the suffering he endured. His once strong and energetic body grew thin and frail. However, despite all the adversity, a small flame of hope continued to burn in his heart, the hope of one day finding the person he loved the most. On the other side of this story was his owner, a young woman who never forgot him. Desperate to find him, she searched everywhere and posted about his disappearance on social media. Unfortunately, all her efforts were in vain. Time passed, and after a year without any sign of her beloved dog, she was forced to accept the painful reality that she might never see him again. But fate had other plans. One day, during a long trip, the young woman stopped her car at a red light. As she glanced toward the sidewalk, her heart skipped a beat. There he was, a thin, trembling figure, standing at the street corner. At that very moment, the dog also seemed to sense something. He lifted his head, and as soon as he recognized that familiar face, his sorrowful eyes suddenly lit up. As if guided by an invisible force, he dashed toward the car, wagging his tail frantically, trying to send a clear message. "It's her! I finally found her!" Shock and joy overwhelmed the young woman. Without hesitation, she rushed out of the car, tears streaming down her face, and hugged him tightly, determined to take him home. But then, something unexpected happened. The dog, despite his happiness, hesitated. He seemed reluctant, as if he was considering something important. That was when the young woman noticed how incredibly thin he had become, and realized he must be starving. She took out some food and offered it to him, and he began devouring it desperately. But as he ate, more figures started to emerge. Several stray dogs timidly approached, drawn by the smell of food. They were just as emaciated and weak as he was. The scene broke the young woman's heart. As the animals hungrily devoured every bite as if they hadn't eaten in days, she finally understood the reason for her beloved dog's hesitation. He didn't want to leave without ensuring his companions were also taken care of. Her dog's love and loyalty deeply moved her. Unable to turn her back on those poor animals, she made a decision. Not only would she take her dear friend home, but she would also give a new home to the 3 other stray dogs. In that moment, her love expanded. It was no longer just for the white dog who had waited so long for her, but also for the other dogs who had shared in his suffering. Now, they would all have a safe place where they would never again go hungry or have to wander the streets alone. If this touching story moved you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep following our content.